Online students, can you hear my voice?
Right. Right, look here. So what is a major advantage of send redirect is? If we are having two different applications, this is one application, test application 1, separate web application. Here, one separate web application, test app 2, two different web applications, generally two different web applications. In this application, we had one servlet program, first servlet. Here we had one more servlet, always we write second servlet. Generally, up to now, we are establishing forward communication or include communication between servlet programs available in same web application up to now. Now I want to establish one small communication between these two servlets, which are running in two different web applications. This can be possible by using send redirect. It is possible by using send redirect. In this process, another servlet program may be in same web application or different web application. So send redirect will support servlet programmer to establish communication between two servlet programs available in two different web applications. So in our program demonstration also for us now, we take input.html here. Let us take one small input.html here. Using that input.html, let us pass any. I'll pass one name, I'll pass, and I'll pass one mail ID or any other mail ID. I'll pass it. Now this is taken as an input to first servlet anyway. And through send redirect method, we are going to display the data from here. Output will come from this servlet. That's the work. So here we are demonstrating two different web applications holding two servlet programs, and one servlet program will take some input and another servlet program will give the output, but the two servlet programs are available in two different web applications. So that is possible with send redirect. I'm going to type it. One small program here. So example I'm taking. In this example, I will take web application 1 name as test app 1. I will take it. I'll take one more web application 2. I'll take it as test app 2. I will take it. In test app 1, I will take input.html. I'll take FIRST, first servlet .java, and I will take web.xml. I will take it. part of web application 2, I'll take second servlet dot Java. I will take it. This is the work. So input taken by first servlet and output given by the second servlet. So how I am going to write that send redirect, you're going to observe it. That's observation for us today. Hope up to now you completed all applications, I think. All servlets completed. How many of you completed all programs in servlet? Raise your hands except assignment. How many of you completed? Except assignment. My applications, copy paste. Last one is pending. Okay. JDBC all updated 17. So management given only 4 days to me again. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Sorry, Monday over no. Today is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Enough. Nothing is that. So application, I'm not giving a live code. I'll give the document at last. Okay, right. They given again. They are giving one more batch. I think I don't know. Today morning they called and said. Wait 1 minute. I'll type it and show. Yeah. So in the servlet, almost 12 programs are there. One updation session, not session, HTTP session with the listener, right? Okay. Total with 12 and that is 13 actually, 13 updations. So hope complete at 13 if possible. Right. I am taking test app 1. I'm taking. One more application, test app 2. I'm adding the jar file. 2 minutes. Right. Here, SRC. Main web app. Right click on web app, new and HTML, input.html. Here I am taking form tag. action is equal to FIRST. First I will take it. Method is equal to post. Enter some username and input type is equal to text and name is equal to uname I'm taking. Generally, any examinations are there means some written, what is it? Technical question paper examinations take string data, don't take numerics. Any demo examination is that take string data. Don't take float data, numeric data. Sometimes Servlet will not give correct answer. You have a very short time, no? Right. They will not give any specifications. No? If they ask any concept, no? Take string data, name, mail ID, address, and run it. Easy to run. The technique you have to play. If you catch that float, no, sometimes null pointer exception will come, float. So take string data and run it. Okay. For examination pattern only. Real time working, you cannot escape. That is different issue. In real time working, you cannot escape from subject. Not possible. Mail ID. Input type is equal to submit. Value is equal to some display. This is input. What we decided input, that is the input. Now the control should go to Servlet. So I am taking Servlet. SRC, right click, new package. Always I took test here. Click on test. Right click, new and class. Here FIRST. First SERVLET. First Servlet. Import java.io java x.servlet. Servlet dot annotation at the rate of web servlet /FIRST extends from HTTP servlet. Here protected void do post HTTP servlet request REQ HTTP servlet response RES. Throws servlet exception and IO exception. Here send redirect only. Directly we are going to use send redirect. For this, read the data from the request. One is uname is equal to REQ dot get parameter of uname. Mail ID. MID is equal to REQ dot get parameter of MID. Already you know the data is available in the request object. We are collecting the data from the request object. using get parameter method. Now comes your res dot send redirect the method. Double quotes because string is a parameter. Now send redirect method. So how you are going to send it means http colon local host 8082. You must say the Tomcat number 8082 slash. You must say the application name now. So I'm taking test app 2. In the test app 2, I'm going to run one servlet program based on URL pattern second. This is the information. I am going to send to home now. You have to send to the servlet running on URL pattern second, and the servlet belongs to the application test app 2. The test app 2 will be deployed into Tomcat server running on port number 8082, and the Tomcat server available in the same computer, local host. That's the information. If the Tomcat server not available in the same computer, say the IP address. Where it is available, say the IP address in the network and say the port number. Understood? That's the way. So always we are running with local host, no? Anyway. Sir, I want run with IP address means for web services is there. So there they will deploy DNS server setting and so on. That practical is available in web service anyway here. Now for this URL pattern, I'm going to add the information, username and password. Sorry, username and mail ID. Already you had a technique, URL rewrite. In the session tracking process, you had URL rewrite. Separator is question mark. Question mark is a separator or not now, right? Okay. Separator question mark. Uname is equal to here. I'm assigning the data. Here. Uname here. And means a separator between the parameters. MID is equal to plus MID. This is I'm sending. Through URL rewrite process, I am sending the parameter. This is one parameter name and value. Parameter name and value. Right. Here. I'm going to use web.xml to start the program. Other XML, web.xml. Web app. Welcome file list. Welcome file input.html. So this application is ready anyway. Go for the second application, test app 2. Here only second servlet. Whenever we use send redirect method, actually, whenever we use send redirect method, the control will go to web browser because you said HTTP no protocol. So the control will go to web browser. From that web browser, again the request is generated. New request is generated from the web browser. Through that request, again the data will come to the second servlet program and loads onto request object. So we are collecting from the request object. when the request is coming from the web browser, where that URL pattern is available in the address bar. So it is raising a get request, it is raising. This is post request, that is get request, because again the request regenerated from the web browser. The request regenerated from the web browser. So now I am writing in the second application, right click on SRC here, new, and package always test. Right click on test, new, and class. We had second servlet we are taking. So here import java.io, import java x.servlet, import java x.servlet.http, import java x.servlet.annotation @web servlet / second, running on URL pattern second, which is extends from HTTP servlet. Here we are taking do get method, protected void do get. So HTTP servlet request, HTTP servlet response res, throws servlet exception and IO exception. Here we need print writer. Last program on print writer. Print writer will be vanished because JSP is coming. Because according to MVC, servlet will not give the response. But for practice purpose, we used print writer. Print writer PW is equal to res dot get writer. Res dot set content type text or HTML. Now the data is available in the request object of second servlet. So collect from there. If not, display it directly. PW dot println. Output is coming from second servlet. And /n. Here name I am displaying. REQ dot get parameter name, I took it as uname. In that send redirect method, I took uname, no, that is capital letter N, I took it, I think. Cross check it, I forget it. In the send redirect method, I took uname lowercase. Uname. So PW dot print ln. So mail ID anyway. REQ dot get parameter of MID. Now the program is ready. I have to run this program. So one point to be remembered here. For demo purpose, when you are running this program, generally we execute this application, answer will come from there. Right? For the first time when you are executing this program after typing, first you have to deploy that application, then you run this application like this for the first time. First time deploy test app to. Right click, run as, run on server. Click on finish. Of course, 404 will come. Okay, right. Only for deployment, don't do anything. Then run the test app one. Run as, run on server. Click on finish. Restart the server. Right. Okay. Coming from second servlet anyway. So this is URL rewrite process only. This is HTTP localhost 8082 test app to second. Here this is separator or not now, right? So username is equal to and mail ID is equal to. All of you understood this? Just one entry question, that is. We can establish communication between servlets available in the same application using request dispatcher normally. Two web applications means web service actually. We never do. In advanced Java, we never do. Web service is that only. Establishing communication between two web applications. They are independent by their languages. Means what? Java website can speak to .NET website. Java website can communicate with any other website. Not only web services majorly popular. Why web services become very popular in the short period means they can ask, because nowadays customer is what now today's internet customer is, he can access from anywhere. For him restrictions not there. Button is for code writer only. He clicks everywhere, he goes there, he searches. By sitting in Flipkart, he look he'll come to Amazon, from there he come to Flipkart. Not mobile apps, I'm speaking about sites. So you'll be traveling here and there. So the links, hyperlinks will be there. You'll be traveling. So that service is called web services. Not only very interesting if you can understand. If you understand the subject, it will be very interesting. Because we can jump from one website to another website. We can jump it. Already we're doing. So that coding we do with web services. Web services major intention, establishing communication between two independent language websites. Only concept. Java website to Java website is easy only. Java website to .NET, Java website to any other language only, because their patterns will be different. Our patterns will be different. So that only link that, because of in a short period it became very popular. But here also two servlet programs, if I want to establish communication between two servlets available in two different web applications, possible by using send redirect. But practically we never do in advance. But one information to you about this. Now look here, I forgot to say one more point. Sorry. Now this is address bar we are imagining. From this address bar, your URL pattern is there. The second one URL pattern here. So through address bar URL pattern is that. From there the request is generated, means the request we call it as do get method. Sorry, get request. To handle that get request, we are using do get method in the second one. That is the reason behind it. finally, if anybody asked, what is the difference between forward method and send redirect? Both are sending the data, no? Right. See that here. When we use forward method, the same request is forward method. Then the same request is forwarded to next servlet program. When we use forward method, then the same request is forwarded to next servlet program. Same request. Program 1 will take the request and forward the request to the second servlet. So same request is forwarded. When we use send redirect method, then new request is generated and forwarded to the next servlet program. Here, new request is generated from the web browser. You can say new request is generated from the web browser and forwarded to next servlet program. When we use send redirect method, then new request is generated from the web browser and forwarded to next servlet program. Right. These are the points. All of it clear, right? This one small interview question, right? So finally, in the conclusion part, I'll write life cycle. I'll write servlet life cycle. I'll write. Servlet lifecycle demonstrates different states of servlet program from starting of servlet program execution to ending of servlet program execution. Means starting to ending. What are the stages? We define it, that we call it as life cycle generally. So our life cycle also child age, middle age, something will be there, no, the order. The same way. Their servlet also will have some stages. One is loading stage, one is instantiation, one is initialization, one is request handling, one is destroying generally. So the 5 stages the servlet will have. Okay, right. Loading process means already you know URL pattern will be there. We find the URL pattern. We search the servlet program based on URL pattern. Then the servlet program is loaded. So who is holding that URL pattern means maybe web.xml will hold URL pattern or your annotation will hold URL pattern. So our execution controls will search servlet program based on URL pattern available in web.xml or available in annotation. The stage we call it as loading. The same point I recorded here. See that the process of identifying the servlet program based on URL pattern and loading onto web container. At last I am using a term, execution environment name is web container, is known as loading process. The process of identifying the servlet program based on URL pattern and loading onto web container is known as loading process. Right. Who holds the URL pattern now? So we can have URL pattern in annotation or you can use web.xml. Which one is easy now? Generally annotation is used. If anybody specify, go with web.xml unless you write annotations. So once the servlet program is loaded, automatically instantiated. We are not creating object, manual. When it's loaded onto web container, automatically instantiated. On the point here. When servlet program loaded onto web container, then loaded onto web container, it is automatically instantiated, known as instantiation process. Known as instantiation process. After instantiation process, we can find the following life cycle methods. You can find it. I written for generic servlet, this will be there. For HTTP servlet, INIT, do post or do get. Even you can use service also, no issue. You can use service. Here do filter. So do post means what kind of request now? Only post request. Do get means what kind of request now? Only get request. Service means both. Very good. Service means it accepts both. Now this is for generic, this is for HTTP, and this is for filter. These are known as life cycle methods. Life cycle methods means the methods executed automatically in the same order. That's known as life cycle methods. If anybody asked that question, if anybody asked, define life cycle methods. The methods which are executed automatically in same order. The methods which are executed automatically in same order are known as life cycle methods. Are known as life cycle methods. Right. After this instantiation completed here, the methods will run automatically. So first method is INIT actually. So initialization process. So nowhere we written initialization up to now generally, right? Look here. Initialization meaning is making the programming components ready for the service method, ready for the do post method, ready for the do get method. So before that method, if you want to make any components created, components object creation. If you want to create one object and make it ready, that code is available in the INIT. That's called initialization. The process of making the programming components ready for execution. Programming components ready for execution is known as initialization process. And we use INIT method to perform initialization process. And moreover, initialization, what kind of objects I can do part of INIT means DAO objects and bean objects. We are going to create. We are creating one DAO object in the service method and do post no. That one you can do in the INIT. So what is the advantage means? Example, you take myself only. I am the executor of this class. So I will come and stand 5 minutes outside or 10 minutes outside because my class is not initialized. Somebody has to come and connect it now. Understood this point? No, right. I am the executor. They'll make me to stand somewhere. Sorry, wait here. I'll connect it. So he is initializing, means keeping the components ready for me. That's called initialization, right? So what happened now? I came. He is doing initialization. So my execution time is wasted now. Suppose before me only, if you can keep ready, I can walk directly and come inside now. So if you do initialization, time will be saved. That's the concept. No, sir, I'll write in the do post method. Nothing is there. Our programs are small applications. No, I don't want to confuse you by writing code here and there because I written the code in the same method for simplicity and learning purpose. We do that technique. If I write code somewhere there, sometime inside, means again student will get confused. Sir, which code I must write there? And this all it takes what? So first make him to learn what it is by writing all the codes inside the do post, do get, service, answer will come. Only small execution time will be increased. Of course, our applications are demo applications, issue not there. Got it right? Actually, what kind of objects I want to create? It means beans and DAOs. Make a statement. Note. NOT note. Note. Through initialization process, through initialization process, we can make bean objects and DAO objects ready for execution. Ready for, which saves the time. Okay, right. Generally, our course ends with single user interaction. Generally, our advanced Java is that only. We take one request, answer will come. That's all. But our applications are multi-users. Yes or no? It's a multi-user application. But daily our practice is single user only. So we never practice with 2 users and 3 users in advanced. Sir, if the second user is there, definitely second user will be there. When you go forward into real time, second, because you are a web application developer, internet application developer, multi-users will be there, definitely. So when the 2 users are trying to interact it with the same application, the initialization process is performed only once. The initialization process will be only once. That init method will be executed only once. But service method, do post method, do get method, these methods are there, no? They'll be running for multiple requests. So 3 users are there means init will run only once. Do post or do get or service will run for 3 times. Difference, you got it, no? Right. So initialization process is performed only once for multi-user applications or for application. Make one statement down and keep it. Note. This initialization process is performed only once. This initialization process is performed only once. Then comes your request handling actually. After initialization, then the concept starts. Taking request, providing response. The process of taking the request and providing the response is known as request handling process. Is known as request handling process. We use service, do post, do get, do filter methods to perform request handling process. Request handling process. Daily we are doing, no? Whenever I write do post method, automatically it will come. Generally in core Java, they'll ask one question to us. Sir, what is abstraction? They'll ask. You'll ask a question. No. So actually core Java trainer cannot explain that abstraction clearly generally because you don't have an example. Abstraction means a definition, he'll say hiding the background implementation from end user. So how sir means he will say one interface, one class. He says student will ask question. Sir, interface not there, answer will come. So answer will come or not? No. Interface one method is there. Implements to one class. You will take that method and write the body. Remove the interface, answer will come now. Sir, answer is coming same no, sir. Wow, sir, he'll ask it. Actually, we cannot explain that. This is abstraction only. do post method is hiding the details of accepting request from HTTP protocol. You don't know? Yes or no? Na? Yes or no? Na? That is abstraction. That HTTP protocol will be looking for one method known as a service or do post or do get. That's a design issue. IEEE standards will be there. No, if you do one research, your paper will be reviewed by somebody, and one body will be there that takes one common things and they'll do it. So because of this reason, the rule means specification. Whenever you want to construct servlet, you must not write your own. You must write service method only. If replace Venkatesh sir from here, he also will come and write service method only. So there is one specification. Nobody can change it. Understood? Why means your HTTP protocol, it search for service method or do post method or do get method and accept that. Sir, how it is accepted? I mean, that is hidden from you. That's called abstraction. Clear or not now? To achieve abstraction, your core Java trainer will write interfaces and abstract classes. You write the pointer not now. So there he cannot explain it. This is abstraction. Again, one multi-threading chapter will be there in core Java for you. Runnable. Java.lang.runnable. One interface will be there. So the runnable will have one method known as run. Right? Whenever you want to write a logic, you must take the method. Means you must implement from runnable. Take the run method and write the body. Whenever you want to run the run method, don't run directly. Run with the start method. Understood this point or not now? Then the start method internally will have one internal call to run method. Start method is a built-in method having algorithm again. It activates one thread scheduler. It creates one separate stack and load that run method. This is the approach available. All these things are hidden, no? It's called abstraction. Understood this point or not now? That only Tomcat server. Tomcat server, that only. Tomcat server, each request is one run method. Sir, I learned multi-threading, where I should use. One concept is there, multi-thread, no, where I should use. Use that concept for server design. Not server application design, for server design. Now you are all service engineers. The reason you are learning advanced Java to write server applications, not servers. Difference you got it or not now? You are using server. Tomcat server you are using. I am not trainer to train you how to design Tomcat server. I am not a vendor trainer. I am a service engineer trainer. Difference you're getting or not now, right? So in this sector where this multi-threading should be used, server designs, Tomcat server is an example of your multi-thread concept. Sir, why they kept in the core Java? Core Java means all are available. All start points are available in the core Java. So from there, you have to select your path. You want to become a service engineer, you want to become a product-based engineer, your wish. Because the start points are available in your core. So if you take one Tomcat server and the request comes, internally run method only. That's a run method. The run method linked to your service method and deploys. If you want to see the errors in your Tomcat server, you can see run method, you can see internally. The red color lines are coming in the background. No, you read line by line. When the error comes, you read line by line. It shows the method name also. Run method has been failed. Thread creation has been failed. Means total Tomcat server built it based on your threading concept. Now two users are coming. What happened now? Already you executed the program in your core Java. I think two start methods you must do. Yes or no? Na? Two programs you have to take it. Programs implements from runnable, two different logics. Bring it and start them by using T1.start, T2.start. Now the two thread stacks will be created because in the interview they'll ask a question, what is the difference between main stack and thread stack? So question is there, what is the difference between main stack and thread stack? So actually it is only one stack, no Java stack area. According to JVM, it is a Java stack area. Then what is the difference between thread stack and so definitely stacks are available. So main stack where main is sitting, thread stack where threads are sitting means what? Other than more than one stack is available. So actually, if I say T1 dot start, T2 dot start, main stack will be there, thread stack will be there, thread 2 stack will be there. Execution engine with the support of thread scheduler, it executes some part from this thread stack one, some part from here. Only simultaneous executions. The result will come some part here, some part here, some part here, some part here. Now, where I should apply this concept now? Tomcat server, two requests are coming means one thread stack for user one thread stack for user two. In this user one thread stack, here service method, user two thread stack, here service method. When the service method is there, request object separate, response object separate, print writer separate for user one, request, response, print writer separate for user two. Sir, how can you say they are different? Your username passwords are different, no? You entered your username passwords are different. So request object should be different or not now? Now in this view, if you want to create one bean object, if you create bean object in IN90 method, the object will be common or not now? It create a problem or not now? Because I not written the bean object there. That's my vision. Understood that point? Because next level is waiting to, web services. Web service trainer will say that only don't write IN90 code, because whenever you want to make any shared component right in the IN90, that's a demonstration. If I speak more deeply, may be confused. So we stop the discussion there only, giving information that two users are there, two stacks. The demonstration happened in the core already. Demonstration happened in the core already. From that core only, the concept extended to thread here. So sorry, that concept came to Tomcat server. Today, two requests are coming means we imagine it two stacks as a two users. That's the information here. Even I also will draw the diagram of that generally. If that vision comes next, I'll show it.